everybody! It's so great to see you again. Look right here at the screen. Are you looking? Are you listening? Are you holding really still? Good, because today's bottom line is Jesus is phenomenal. Come on, everybody. Say Jesus is phenomenal on the count of 3. We're going to shout it. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus is phenomenal! That was really good. Jesus really is a phenomenal guy. He spent his time on earth loving, serving, and teaching others. Everything he did was awesome. Come on, say awesome. Oh, you're so good. There were many times when Jesus performed miracles that were unexplainable. They were mind-blowing. They even seemed impossible, but they weren't impossible. They were phenomenal. The Gospels are full of tellings of the many miracles that happened while Jesus was traveling and telling others about God's big, epic, perfect love. So at this point in Jesus' life, he had been doing miracles and helping people for quite a while. He was becoming really famous. Everywhere Jesus went, people gathered to hear him teach, and maybe they'd get to see him do something phenomenal. But there were also some people who'd become very jealous of Jesus. They didn't like that he was so popular. They hated how he seemed so perfect and without sin. You know, haters are gonna hate, right? These people, they started trying to think of ways to trick Jesus and get him into trouble. They would ask him confusing questions, hoping that he would answer incorrectly and make himself look bad. So on more than one occasion, Jesus was asked questions about taxes. Questions about money. The people would ask, should we pay this tax or should we not pay taxes? They tried to come up with any question that might bring Jesus down and build themselves up. Do you think Jesus fell for their sneaky tricks? Heck no, techno, all right? Jesus knew just how to handle their questions. He was always able to respond in a way that, well, was phenomenal. Everybody, say Jesus is phenomenal on the count of 3, really loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus is phenomenal! These people that didn't like Jesus were not friendly and tried to trick Peter, one of Jesus' best friends, one of his disciples. They'd ask him sneaky questions about taxes. They said, Peter, does Jesus pay his temple tax? Well, Peter was confused. And when you're confused, what should you do? Ask Jesus, right? So Peter went to Jesus to ask him what to do. Jesus knew that whether he answered yes or no, he would offend a lot of people. It seemed like a real lose-lose situation. All right, but you gotta brace yourselves because this is gonna get crazy. We're really about to get to the phenomenal part. Everybody, say Jesus is phenomenal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Jesus is phenomenal! Jesus said to Peter, go down to the lake and throw in your fishing line. The first fish you catch will have the exact amount of money in its mouth that we will need to pay the temple tax. This way, we can pay the tax, but it won't be with money from our pocket. Do this, and neither the temple or anyone else can be mad about it. What do you think happened? You got any guesses? You're right, Peter did just as Jesus commanded. He went down to the lake and he caught a fish. The first fish he caught had a silver coin in its mouth, and it just so happened to be the perfect amount needed to pay the temple tax. Alrighty, so let's talk about how miraculously phenomenal the situation really was. I have this sea full of fish, right? And this sea full of fish, I can only catch one of them. Now, I want to make sure that you know which one it is. This is George, my buddy George. And as we all know, all Georges have triangle noses, okay? So George, you're gonna get your triangle nose put on today. And all Georges also have eyelashes, but only 3 of them. So if your name is George, I expect you to only have 3 eyelashes or else you're an imposter. And just kidding. Anyways, so George is in the sea of fish and he's swimming in there and I'm gonna spin myself around. So now I'm super dizzy and he's in here and I only have 1 chance to get George. George, is that you? It's not you. George, is that you? It's not you either. George, you? Oh, no, George. That's like my 4th fish. Finally, I got to George. But Jesus told him, the first fish you catch. So So you obviously get how miraculously phenomenal it was to catch one fish in a lake full of other fishes. Or, fishies, as I like to say, even though that might not be proper English. Sorry, Mom. Jesus often found himself in difficult situations. Somehow, he was always able to respond and act without sinning. He sometimes did so by performing a miracle that only the Son of God could do. If you're faced with tough times this week or any time, I want you to stop. Take a second to ask Jesus to show you how you should handle it. Maybe it's a problem with someone at your school, or maybe your brother or sister. God will help you. Let's say the bottom line one last time together. Come on, everybody. Say, Jesus is phenomenal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Jesus is phenomenal. Jesus is phenomenal, and he wants to do phenomenal things through you too. It was so awesome to hang with you today. We'll see you next time.